So we are the Salem FFA, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about soil, water, and agricultural conservation. So we chose to execute our 2017 State Envirothon plan by making a community garden on some property that is located at our school grounds, and we're furthermore go into that now. So first, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Kayla Rose, and I'm the Salem FFA president.
My name is Kaylee Akers. I am the vice president.
My name's Hunter Humphrey, and I'm the treasurer.
I'm Brant Deaton, and I'm our sentinel.
I'm Emma Day, and I'm a member. Okay, as you can see here, this is going to be a map of our garden site. It will be located on a property which we refer to as the North 60 property. Right over here, this is going to be our water source for irrigation purposes and otherwise. It's Rock Creek. We can also see the soccer field up in the right-hand corner, our cross-country course, and our walking trail, which we will talk a little bit more about later. We chose this site because of the flat ground. It's just probably one of the best sites we could have chosen, and each side kind of already has a natural buffer, which is going to be cost-efficient and serve very well for the purposes we need it for.
Some history of the area land we're going to be putting this garden on. That section of land was bought by the school in 2005 as developmental land. And then in 2007 there was a soccer field and a cross-country course put there. And then from 2007 to 2014, part of the land had a hay field on it that was ran by the FFA. And then from 2007 to the present, there's a school-owned farm where a local farmer farms part of it, then gives the proceeds to the FFA and Science Club, as well as an outdoor science lab that the Science Club uses to put up signs that inform public of wildlife and do various land conservation practices on.
For our educational outreach, we're going to be partnered with the 5th graders from Brady Shrum Elementary School, which is right by our garden, and their teachers, and they are going to help us plant and maintain the garden.
We will have informational signs around our garden like the one we have today, but it will display what one of the products is in our garden, and then the scientific name and some of the uses of the product, and then some nutritional facts, and then also some interesting facts. On field day, that's the day that we will be officially opening our garden, and we'll invite the community to come and show what we've done around the area to get it ready for the garden. On Kids Day, we'll be inviting some of the students from our public schools around, and we've been working with the 5th graders in our greenhouse that we have at our school, so we will also invite them, but we'll have the kindergarten through 2nd grade come at one time, and then the 3rd through 5th, and then as well the 6th through 8th, and they'll be helping us plant. They can pick out a plant that they want to plant, and then we'll be inviting them back to monitor the growth. And then Senior Citizens Day, we'll be inviting some of the senior citizens that are willing and able to come from the nursing homes around town, and our garden will be handicap accessible because it's there by the soccer field. There's already a roadway that runs by. And then at the end of harvest giveaway, at the end of the season, we'll be giving away the rest of our surplus or products that we have left over to the homeless shelter and the women's.
So I bet a lot of you are thinking like, wow, they have their work cut out for them. So let's talk about some land practices we're going to do before and after our harvest. So first we're going to take our soil samples with this wonderful thing called a probe. And we've already used it, and we found that we have 3 types of soils throughout the land that we're going to be using. And so what we do with those is that with our soil probe, we test it and we figure out what soils we are, and then we do profiles. So then from our profiles, we then figure out what plants work best in the soil so we can put those in our garden. So then from there, it is a garden, so we are going to till it, and we're doing a non-organic garden, so we are going to use fertilizer and additional prep. Also with that, we've been lucky enough where we have a 4-way buffer strip around each side of our garden, so that cuts down on expenses for us that I'll go into a little bit depth on later. And then for our conservation, we're going to use a cover crop of rye. And we've talked about some fescue, but I think we've been told that rye is a little bit better for additional cover crop because it works a lot better for what we're doing. So, yeah.
All right, soil types present at our site are going to be COB, Kreider Silt Loam, which is going to be your 2 to 6% slope. COC2, also Kreider Silt Loam, 6 to 12% slope. Both formed from limestone, described as brownish red silty clay loam. Lastly, we have our HM Hayman Silt Loam, 0 to 3% slope, described as silty alluvium, well-drained soil.
We have various wildlife surrounding our gardens, such as white-tailed deer and rabbits and various birds and snakes and insects. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a fence up around our garden to keep some of the wildlife out from like eating the plants and stuff. However, the science club has various habitats set up for them, so although the garden's going to be there, they'll still have their natural habitat in the area. And now Emma's going to tell you about how we're going to add plant pollinators to our garden.
So as he said, we are going to have plant pollinators in our garden. We're going to be planting things like zinnias, cosmos, marigolds to attract butterflies to help pollinate the garden. In addition to the butterflies that are already there, we have a butterfly garden that is maintained by the Science Club, which is really close nearby. So there's already butterflies in the area. The plants that we plant, though, will just help attract them over and help pollinate our garden.
So I talked a little bit earlier about those buffer zones. So on the north side, we have a apple tree line that will consist of crimson gold and gold rush apple trees, and that'll be on the north side. And then on our south side, we already have a natural line of trees that will act as our windbreaks. And then on all four sides, we have a 20-foot or more buffer strip that will help protect pollutants and diseases going into the creek that runs close by. And so, because we don't want to affect any of the natural ecosystems or habitats that already takes place in the creek with our garden. So we have the extra protection with the buffer strip that goes all the way around.
Where we're going to be planting the garden is in climate zone 6A, which has a temperate climate zone, meaning it usually doesn't get below 0. And then all the species of plants we chose are best suited for that climate, and you usually plant them from the end of March and harvest them before November.
Alright, we have already planned out a 3-year crop rotation. As you can see from year 1 to year 2, we are swapping out beans for corn because of some of that depleted nitrogen. We need to put it back in. We also need to switch around the others just a bit to be sure that we don't get any disease, insect spread, just to control that kind of thing.
So our pollinators that we're going to start off with on our west side will be strictly sunflower seeds, and then on the east side we have marigolds, cosmos, and zinnias, and that helps reduce the insect traffic control that's going in between and out of our garden. So we have those on both ends of our gardens.
We'll have 2 different types of corn, and they will be early extra sweet hybrid and silver queen hybrid.
For beans, we'll have 3 different types. We'll have Kentucky Wonder Pole, Kentucky Blue Pole, and Blue Lake 274 bush beans.
Alright, we will be planting 5 varieties of tomatoes in our garden, which will include Romas, Sunny Boy Hybrid, which is a yellow tomato, Beefsteak Big Boy, and Brandywine tomatoes.
So for our vine plants, will consist of cucumbers, squash, and zucchini, but for our first year, we're just going to execute on the cucumber side, and we're going to use a mound system using Sweet, Burpless Hybrid, and Straight 8 as our cucumbers for our first year.
For peppers, we're going to have California Wonder bell peppers, as well as Yummy Hybrid sweet peppers and sweet banana peppers, and then we're also going to have Hot Big Guy Hybrid peppers, which is in the jalapeno family.
We'll have 2 different types of onions, Candy Hybrids and Texas Super Sweets, and we'll plant them on a raised bedding system.
We'll also have 2 different types of strawberries, including Early Grow and Tribute, and strawberries are perennial, so they won't need to be replanted every year.
So let's talk about this financial profit that we're going to be bringing in here. So our 6 apple trees will be $19.99 each, with tax puts us at $128.34. Our seed and plant costs and soil and fertilizer costs are up on the screen. Our pots, what we're going to do is we have like tomatoes that will be grown in our greenhouse that's located at our school, and we'll be using the pots to help transfer them over to our garden. So we have our pot cost. Our cover crop is $14.35 for fescue, and a couple dollars more is for 10 pounds is our rye cover crop that we'll be using. Our fence cost, because we have a 46 3,600 square foot garden. We will have a $3,600 fence, and we'll be using vinyl. And our signs, such as the ones that we've brought up here, were donated by a sign corporation in Salem called Antec Signs. That puts us at a total of $4,392.87. Our estimated profit that we think that we'll be getting from our garden puts us at $4,000, and our sign sponsorship for having the signs located around is $1,100. So that's $5,100 minus the $4,392.87, which I believe puts us at a profit of $707.13 plus whatever donations brings in. And that's estimated for our first year.
And we'll be accepting cash donations May 15th through May 29th. And you can give your donations to any of our chapter's FFA officers or our advisor, Seth Preley, or you can message us on our Facebook account, Salem FFA Chapter. And that concludes our PowerPoint today, so if you have any questions, you can ask them.